Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, greetings. My name is Nelson Brown, Nelson E. Brown, and I will be hosting the Beauty in Us Radio. This is a new show, a new radio show, a new internet radio show with Awesome God Radio. Today is September 8th, 2020. Um, I definitely wanted to give some people some time to chime in. I know this is my first show, and please, please, please forgive me. I'm really, really nervous, so don't, so don't jump on me if I mess some things up. I'm just really excited. I'm trying to calm down right now. I'm really excited. I'm really excited, and I'm trying to control myself. So please bear with me. This is my first show. This is my first time being live. I've sat down in interviews, but this is my first time hosting my actual show. So please, please, please just bear with me. I see your comments. Hi, Miss Breezy. Hi, Miss Lillian. Yes. Yes, this is the AGR family. I'm trying to give some people some more time to chime in. That's why I started early. I just want to thank everyone who has supported me along this journey. I want to thank everyone who is open to my dreams, everyone who has supported my dreams. I want to thank the AGR family, but not just the AGR family. I also want to thank my number one supporter. She is upstairs listening to my show right now from my laptop, my mom. So shout out to my mom. Make sure you guys send a shout out to my mom. Just post it in the comments. I will show the comments. I want to thank the Messiah Community Church. I want to thank Miss Whitney Hogans for introducing me to Awesome God Radio. So give her a shout out as well. She's the one that introduced me to Awesome God Radio. She's the one that referred me to Miss Kat Wilson and the Good Life Gospel Show. And I just want to thank our big boss, AJ, for giving me an opportunity to share my story on a public platform. Now, without further ado, I want to give a little intro to the work that I do every day. I know many people follow my work as an author and as a speaker. I've spoken at schools. I've had several speaking engagements at churches and at different venues, but I wanted a platform entitled The Beauty in Us because I wanted to give young Black men a voice. I definitely feel as though young Black men, they don't really have a voice in the broadcast journalism industry. I definitely feel like young Black men like myself, we are often overlooked in an industry that is predominantly filled with people who are not of color. And I just definitely think that it's time for us to share our stories. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm an author, but in addition to being an author, a self-published author, I work for the Maryland Department of the Environment's Lead Poisoning Prevention Program under the Land and Materials Administration. So that's down in South Baltimore. So during the day, you can definitely see me there working hard with all of my colleagues. I want to give a big shout out to my colleagues. I don't know if any of them are listening right now. I told them about the show. So I really hope they do listen to the first show. I mean, if not, they can go back and listen. But I want to thank them for supporting me all the way. I've been there since I was 17, you guys. So I've definitely grown a lot since working, and just the whole process of just working and going to school. It has its challenges, but I know that it's about to be rewarding as I enter into the workforce. I've gained a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge in the industry that I work in. And I think that that's really important as a young person. The younger you are, the better. And you can definitely make an impact, more of an impact when you're younger versus when you're older. The first book that I wrote as an author, I introduced myself to the world about 2 summers ago, in August of 2018. And I released a book called The Beauty in Us, Our Reality. Now that's the first edition of the book series. It's a book series called The Beauty in Us, but the Our Reality edition is the first volume in the series. It's available on Amazon in a paperback and ebook format. And you are free to check it out at any point in time if you want. You can shoot me an email. I will definitely post my email address in the comments below so that you can all have access to that, so that you can ask me any questions or voice your concerns of any sort if you want to learn more about it. But The Beauty in Us, Our Reality is a book that I wrote. I actually started that book a month after I graduated from high school in 2017. I'm 21 years old now, but at the time, in July in 2017, I wrote The Beauty in Us, Our Reality. It took me about a month to write it. And I wrote that book because I started to think about all of the things that I went through from kindergarten and even before then up until 12th grade. And I wrote the book because I wanted to share my story with new readers. I definitely feel like my struggles with my self-image and my self-esteem, because of the weight issues I struggled with throughout the period of my life, throughout my childhood, in elementary school, middle school, and even in high school, a portion of high school. And I wanted to talk about that from a male's perspective. And I was trying to think of ways to address the importance of having a healthy self-image from a male's perspective, because I feel like we are living in a world where people believe that image is everything and that the way you look matters. The way you present yourself is more important. And that, being raw and authentic is often undermined by a lot of people. So I definitely feel as though The Beauty in Us, Our Reality was the door that I needed. It was the memoir that I needed to, make myself vulnerable, because a lot of people see me every day, whether I'm at work or whether I'm at school, and then they congratulate me for all of the accomplishments that I've made. And they butter me up with so many compliments. But I just wanted to share with people a lot of the struggles I have had internally, because a lot of people from the outside looking in, they don't know the struggles that, I've had, behind closed doors, when, everything kind of, was suppressed. I suppressed a lot of feelings that I had inside. And The Beauty in Us, Our Reality talks about a lot of the struggles I had, not just weight related struggles, but struggles with my self-esteem. And it wasn't always about looks. Oftentimes, you think about the way that people treat you. You think about the flaws that people point out to you growing up about you. And you have a tendency to believe that a lot of things are ugly, and you don't really know what your insecurities are until someone else points them out to you. It could be a teacher, a friend, a classmate, a coworker, or even your own parents, in a sense. So that's what the first book is about. It starts with me at the age of 5 in kindergarten, and it ends at my graduation from high school. It's a very easy read. And I won for Author of the Year, my first Author of the Year award from the 2019 Newsom Gospel Music Awards. And it was a really humbling experience, because it definitely gave me an opportunity to, expose myself in a positive light, and to show other young men and to show boys that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to address things and just talk about things with your parents that may be uncomfortable, like mental health or things that you're struggling in, areas that you're struggling in. And now the second edition of my book series, The Beauty in Us, Vulnerable Masculinity, is a book of poetry I released in February of this year, right before everything happened. And that is a book of poetry. And it definitely demonstrates a lot of growth between 2018, 2019, and 2020. But it still showcases a lot of my innocence in some areas, but it also showcases a lot of growth. I definitely think that the Vulnerable Masculinity edition, it discusses many dark subjects, taboo subjects that people don't like to discuss, men don't like to discuss, women don't like to discuss, children are afraid to discuss. And those are things such as self-reflection, mental illness, forgiveness, the importance of having a strong faith, and just different components of a young man's life, in different phases in a young man's life, all of what we go through in our late teens and our early 20s. I definitely think that my second book, it definitely posed as an opportunity for me to share things from a young man's perspective, a young Black man's perspective, and to discuss some of the things that we're going through, and that all men go through at certain periods of their life. So my goal is to be as transparent as possible with all of the work that I do. So I really hope that you guys just take a chance and just log on to Amazon, head on over to Amazon and purchase both copies of the books in a paperback and ebook format, so that you can definitely feel enlightened and informed and empowered and inspired. So I would definitely appreciate it a lot. I've sacrificed a lot. It takes a lot of hard work to write a book, especially with my first book, just jotting all of my thoughts down, speaking with my editor and illustrator, and just going through that entire process. And it definitely pays off when you see the hard work. So I definitely encourage you all to just support me in my journey and in my dream of just giving other young men an opportunity to be vulnerable and to just celebrate themselves and see the beauty in all of their strengths and weaknesses. And I wanted to talk a little bit about Black Prince Magic. Black Prince Magic is a hashtag that I created. I'm actually wearing a shirt that I in a sense designed, and a clothing factory, the Rondale Clothing Factory. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. Black Prince Magic. So this is a shirt. This is a hashtag that I created in the fall of last year. Has it been almost a year? Yes, it's been almost a year since I created that shirt. Well, this shirt right here, and along with the other colors with my face on the back of it. And Black Prince Magic is, we have Kat Wilson. Hi, Miss Wilson. It's a hashtag that I created because I definitely feel as though Black boys need a voice. Black boys need role models. Black boys need it's a positive influence, someone to look up to. So I definitely created that hashtag. It's something cute that I decided to do to bring awareness about the hashtag and to make it known to our community and possibly throughout our nation. I just definitely think that we need more representation and that we need more. We definitely need more support. There are a lot of stereotypes, a lot of negative stereotypes that surround us, that are centered around us, and it's not true. I'm trying my best to spread positivity in any way I can, and this was the perfect vehicle to do it. I haven't done too much with it yet. I'm still going to keep everybody posted on the status of the shirts, but the books are still available and they will continue to be available for you for purchase. I'm going to hold off on the shirts for now. I'm going to take a detour and come back to that. But for now, I definitely encourage you to buy my books. And this is just my first show, so I feel like I'm kind of going all over the place. So please forgive me. Again, this is my first show. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I'm really excited. Okay. I'm looking at my notes. I outlined everything for the show. Now, one subject I wanted to discuss was Black boys and self-esteem. So Black boys and self-esteem, it ties into the work that I do. I challenge you guys to think about the times in which you struggled with self-esteem. I want you to think about many of the Black moms and dads out there who have sons. I would like you guys to post right here in the comments times where you've either struggled with self-esteem throughout a portion of your life, or if you know of someone who's struggled with low self-esteem or who has had some form of self-esteem issues. And if you have Black sons, or if you know any young Black men that struggle with self-esteem issues, I really want you to just talk about it in the comments right here so that I can get an idea and answer some questions and definitely bring light to how we can curb the discussion around toxic masculinity, or what it takes to be a man, because it's something that is held dear to my heart. I was raised by a single mom. I was raised by Miss Lisa Brown. So if you ever see my mom somewhere, tell her good job, congratulate her. She looks exactly like me, so you won't be able to miss her. So please, 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 whenever you get a chance, please congratulate her, celebrate her. She's done an awesome job raising me. She raised me to be a great young man, and I'm gonna take this moment to brag about her. So just like I said, just congratulate her and celebrate her whenever you see her. But in all seriousness, she's definitely been my rock throughout this entire journey. There were moments in my life where I just felt totally and completely worthless. And she's the one that helped me along the way. She's the one that continued to motivate me during the good times and during my, terrible, well, I wouldn't say terrible, but just darkest moments. And, she continues to work hard and she continues to make sacrifices. And she tells me all the time that how much she loves me and how proud of me she is because of all of what I've accomplished. And I know that a lot of people, unfortunately, look, yes, they do. Yes, Miss Breezy, Black Moms Rock. So, yes, maybe you guys can create a hashtag out of that too. But like I said, my mom, she's definitely sacrificed a lot. And I definitely love and appreciate her for it. And I'm grateful for it. But growing up, I knew that, I had a responsibility, which was to be the best that I could be. And that, her responsibility was to raise me to be a great young man, because I know that as a Black mom, raising a Black son in today's world is definitely a challenge. With all of the obstacles that I have in front of me and with all of the obstacles that she had in front of her when she was raising me, she figured out how to navigate through everything. She definitely figured out how to, support me in any way she could. She definitely, had to work hard, grind, and do whatever she had to do in order to make sure that I was taken care of. Yes, nothing like encouragement from our moms. Yes, Miss Lillian, you're exactly right. But I definitely feel as though single Black moms should be acknowledged more often, especially ones who raise sons by themselves, because a lot of people don't really understand how hard it is to raise children by yourself, because there's no rule book. There's no guide that shows you or tells you how to rear a child or how to raise a child. And like I said, she did the best she could, and it paid off, because now she has the opportunity to see, the great man that I've become, the little boy that she raised. So I definitely want to, acknowledge her for that, and acknowledge all of the moms in the same predicament, the single Black moms in the same predicament. And she is definitely a part of the reason why I started this book series too. I definitely feel as though when it comes to Black boys and self-esteem, I think that Black moms who raise sons definitely need, I wouldn't necessarily say a rule book, but some tips on how to help boys, how to create a healthy self-image for them, how to help them figure out what their passions are, figure out what their strengths are. And they can also, with these books, they can also help them identify what their weaknesses are and the areas that need improvement. And that's what my backstory is. Like I said, I'm still very nervous. So please forgive me if I stutter. Please forgive me if I screw up. I have my notes right here, but I'm kind of going all over the place. I feel like I'm going all over the place. So please forgive me once again. So we are coming up on 6:30. So around 6:30, between 6:30 and 6:35, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to play a little bit of music, and then I'm going to come back to talk about the COVID-19 pandemic and virtual learning and how that has had an impact on all of us. I definitely know for me, as a college student, I definitely had to make a lot of adjustments. It's really sad. I really, really wanted to be in the studio, but I was able to set up my home studio. But I'm definitely glad that I still had the opportunity to introduce myself to you guys. I'm glad I had the opportunity to share my story, a little bit of my story. We're not going to get into the really, really good content of my show until next week, where I have a guest. He's a prominent pastor in the Upton community, and I think that you guys will definitely learn a lot from him. He's really knowledgeable. He's really influential, and I've seen him on other platforms. I've seen him, I really love the work that he does. So he's definitely a great he's a great influence. And I think that the work that he does and the work that I do, I think that they will go hand in hand. But I'm not going to give too much away right now, but I just want you guys to be prepared for next week. This is just an overview of what you may see and what you can expect on my show. And I'm going to have a little bit of everything. I'm going to change it up a bit. I'm going to do my best to keep it interesting. And I want to reach as many people as possible so that everyone can feel empowered. Everyone can feel encouraged. We're going to laugh, for some shows. Some of them are going to be comical with some of my guests and, with some of the things that I have planned. And we're going to also heal and learn how to strengthen ourselves and to see the beauty in our strengths and in our weaknesses with all of the work that I have and with all of what I'm going to present to you and what I'm going to challenge you with. So I definitely want you guys to keep your minds and keep your ears, your minds, and your eyes open for everything. We will have other authors. We will have entrepreneurs. We will have healthcare professionals, other speakers, keynote speakers, other hosts. We are going to have a combination of everything on this show. I've been able to network with a lot of people in the field of healthcare, in real estate, in the life coaching industry. I've networked with a lot of speakers. I've attended a lot of events since I graduated from high school. I've attended a lot of events, and I've definitely been able to learn a lot from people who came before me and people who've, in a sense, made it and worked really hard to get to where I am. I'm definitely going to keep you guys up to date. If you guys don't follow my work, I will definitely give you more information on how you can follow my work. I'm in the process of setting up a website with my cousin. So you guys can be on the lookout for that as well. I'm still in the process of designing it. There's a lot that goes into it. And I have everything outlined. I just need to get my thoughts together. I have new business cards, a new website. So I'm still trying to get all my thoughts together, and I'm trying to go through it. I'm trying to go through it one step at a time because I'm really, really excited. But I know that I have to, I have to be a little meticulous about it because of how I am. So, like I said, I just want you guys to be on the lookout for that. This is going to, and the business cards are definitely going to help because I definitely want more exposure for the work that I do. And I know that, starting a radio show or a podcast and having a website can definitely give you more exposure when it comes to building your brand and building your business. So that's something that I really, really am looking forward to. What I've been doing is nice as a sole proprietor, but in order to take the business to the next level, I definitely need the help from others to get to that point. I know a lot of people who have helped me along the way. I've been using the services of a lot of people. I've been putting my faith and my trust in a lot of people, which is really, really difficult for me to do at times because of my experience. But I definitely want, and I encourage you all to just reach out to me if you have anything in mind, if you have anything that you want to see on the show, if you have a particular question about me, about my work and what I do, please, please, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will definitely contact you at my earliest convenience. But I'm going to play a little bit of music. I was playing a little bit of music earlier on as a little intro. I was supposed to start at 6 p.m., but I started at 5:55 p.m. to get everybody ready, and I started a little after 6 so I can give people time to chime in. But I'm going to play a song from a contemporary Christian music artist named Taryn Wells called Like You Love Me. And it's a song that really touches my heart. I really adore his music, and it really sends a lot of great messages, inspirational messages, and it tells stories. And I definitely think that you guys would love it too. Um, uh, mhm. Yes. Oh, really? Okay. 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 I apologize. We're having some technical difficulties, but I'm going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about the COVID-19 pandemic and virtual learning, and what the first day of school was like for millions of children, millions of parents, and millions of um, teachers and other faculty members. I'm going to try to see if I can fix this technical difficulty, and I really want you guys to listen to this song. So please, stay right there, and I will be right back. Okay, welcome back to the Beauty in Us Radio. My name is Nelson E. Brown, and I am your host for this evening. This is my very first show. This is my very first broadcast. But I want to apologize for that. I'm trying to figure out what the technical difficulties are. I'm tired. I tried to figure out what the technical difficulties are, but I wanted you guys to listen to some music, but I'm not sure what the glitch in the system is, but we're going to move right along. Like I said, I'm still very nervous. I kind of feel like I'm all over the place, but we're going to move forward. I took a short little break. I hope you guys have been enjoying the show so far, and I hope you guys have been learning a lot about me and learning a lot about what the show and will consist of. Okay, for the second half of the show, I wanted to talk a little bit about the COVID-19 pandemic and what virtual learning has been like for millions of students, parents, and teachers. Now, I know that this is the first day of school, and I know that people are getting back from holiday vacation and the Labor Day weekend. I started school a couple of weeks ago in the last week of August, and UMBC has decided to go remotely and virtual for the entire semester. I know that poses some challenges for some students who may not have the privilege or the opportunity to gain access to the internet at home. But I wanted to see what you guys think. I definitely feel as though the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted all of us in some way, shape, or form. So if you can, please feel free to post in the comments below if you have children, or if you don't have any children, if you know any children who have been struggling with remote learning. I definitely feel as though remote learning, it's beneficial for some students, but it's not beneficial for every single student within each school system. I know that this past spring, it was really, really hectic. I know that even for me, it was a real hassle trying to adjust to all of the shutdowns. And it wasn't just the fact that everything shut down for me personally. It was just the fact that everything shut down and the speed in which it happened. And I know that this has had an impact on a lot of, oh, hi, Mark. Excuse me. This has had an impact on a lot of children, especially young children who can't really understand what the COVID-19 pandemic is. And they, along with all of us, are living with ongoing uncertainty. So I wanted to ask you guys, if you have children, or if you know of anybody who has children, or if you know any children in particular, what has online learning been like for them this past spring? And I know today was their first day. So did you guys have a good first day? I know that I've seen some posts in the media of, children setting up a kind of classroom at home. So I just want to know, is it really, really difficult for young children, especially, to focus while they're at home? Because I know that for me, I work better in an office setting or in a classroom setting. I do well in the virtual learning environment, but it's really, really difficult for me to, well, I know that is really difficult, not necessarily for me, but I know it's difficult for others to complete a course online. And because of that, because of the digital divide, as they say, do you think that children are going to fall behind throughout the course of this school year? Do you think that between this time this year and this time next year, do you really believe that children are going to be behind a grade? Do you think that it's appropriate for them to continue if they're not ready? So please, please, please feel free to think about that, and please feel free to comment. I wanted to also talk about the COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic has lasted approximately 6 months almost. It started in March, and the shutdowns happened for the majority of the spring, and the stay-at-home orders weren't really lifted I know for a fact, in this state until mid-June, around mid-June. And I know that for me, it was a challenge trying to make that transition, but I was able to complete all of my courses successfully. And I know that for work, I didn't go back to work until June, the middle of June. And everyone else who was not on a telework schedule were on administrative leave. So I want to know what that experience was like for you guys. I wanted to know how you were able to adjust to everything, because I know that some people enjoy teleworking and some people don't. And I know that some people like the office setting more while others don't. So please feel free to tell me what your experience was like. I know it was difficult for everybody. Well, I know that this time is difficult for everybody, but just feel free to just tell me about your experience. I know that the COVID-19 pandemic, it's been with us for a while, even prior to all of the shutdowns. And between social distancing from our peers and from our loved ones and friends, and even with, washing our hands and wearing masks in the hot, hot sun. I mean, do you feel as though, and even getting tested, we have over 1 million people that have been tested for the virus so far. So I just wanted to see, have you guys been tested, or have you made the decision and have you taken it upon yourself to actually go and get a test? And have you thought about your health and safety more since this pandemic started? Because I don't know about you, but the pandemic has really, really changed my perspective on a lot of things. I know that millions of people lost their jobs. I know that millions of people struggled to make ends meet and to collect unemployment and all of the other benefits they were eager to receive. If you're comfortable enough, I want you all to share that with me, and maybe we can talk about it more in depth. I know that even though, we're in stage 3 of reopening the state of Maryland, I do know that there are still some people that are without jobs and without a source of income. So do you know anybody who's suffered from this, who's lost their job because of this pandemic? What is your outlook on everything as a result of this pandemic? Do you look at things differently? Even once this is all over, whenever it is all over, are you going to live your life the same way? Are you going to feel comfortable hugging and kissing your loved ones in the same way you did before? Are you going to practice good hygiene, which is something that I've learned about a long time ago and I've always done, but I know that everyone may not understand that, or everybody may not practice the same amount of good hygiene and good health. Everybody doesn't take their health seriously. So are you going to take your health and wellness much more seriously now because of the pandemic? Please let me know what you think. But before I forget, I wanted to show you guys my books. So this is The Beauty in Us, Our Reality. This is the book that I released back in 2018, in August of 2018. And it is a little over 70 pages. It's an easy read. So this is available on Amazon. And this is available in a paperback and ebook format. One of my contacts, so one of the people in my network, asked me if I was going to do an audiobook. That is something that I'm open to doing, but I don't know how to do it. So if you guys know of anybody who might be, who has released an audiobook, please let me know so I can get in touch with them on how to do that later on down the line. I know that's a little more time consuming than simply writing or creating a manuscript, but please feel free to reach out to them so that I can, and reach out to me so that we can connect and collaborate and do what we need to do to make it happen. This is the first volume. This is volume 1 of the book series. This is the memoir I told you guys about. And the second edition, the volume 2 edition, this is the second edition of the book. It's also available in a paperback and ebook format. So please feel free to head on over to Amazon to purchase your copy. You can listen to it, you can read it. You might be able to listen to it. I'm not sure how that works. I know that some readers were able to listen to it themselves, but I just wanted to quickly advertise that for you guys. Now, like I was saying before, with all of the safety protocols and the health safety measures that are in place right now, between washing our hands, between wearing face coverings or face masks, and with social distancing, is this something that we should have learned a long time ago? We should have learned this, because I know that when I was in kindergarten, and even before then, washing your hands was important. Keeping clean hands was important. So does it take a pandemic like this for people to understand that concept? And I'm not trying to be a smart aleck, but does it really take a pandemic for people to understand that washing your hands is important? And also with social distancing, with all jokes aside, have you ever thought about how isolated some people feel with all of the restrictions put in place? Not being able to go places, not being able to go to the movies, go to bars, go to restaurants. Everything's open now, but between about March and June, within like that 3-month period, everything was shut down. The whole world was pretty much shut down, from my perspective. But how was that for you? I know that a lot of people felt lonely and isolated. I know that the suicide rates and the divorce rates and the rates of domestic violence are going to skyrocket this year because of that. And a lot of people said that they were happy to be home and that they were happy to telework. But if you think about it carefully, wasn't happy about all of the restrictions that were put in place as far as the stay-at-home order is concerned. Think about all of the people who have been abused throughout these few months. Think about all of the people who may be in a rocky relationship of any sort. Think about all of the people that may be suffering from a mental illness, that may have suffered in silence for the past few months. These are all of the things to think about when we talk about the pandemic and when we talk about all of the safety measures that have been put in place. Okay, so I'm going to read some of the comments. I'm on IG, I'm on Instagram, and that's why I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm trying to read what's on here, and I'm trying to read what's on here as well. So please bear with me. So we have a response from Ram in the Bush. That's Tehran Prelo. What's up, Tehran? And he says, definitely showed me that people don't wash their hands. Had to fuss at a guy ringing up my stuff at the gas station. He was covered in dirt and his hands were dirty. Okay, so that's a prime example, I guess, of somebody not washing their hands, touching everything, interacting with people, interacting with their belongings. So that's the prime example that Tehran gave of somebody not washing their hands and not using any of the safety protocols that were put into place. So, like I said, it has me thinking, is this something that somebody has to tell you? Should you already know these things? Should you already have learned how to wash your hands early on? Because I did when I was younger as a child. So does it take a pandemic for you guys to practice cleanliness, to practice good hygiene, and to protect not only yourself, but the safety of others with all of the practices you have? In a sense where, good hand washing, wearing a face covering your sneeze with your elbow, not with your fist, in order to keep germs from spreading. So do people really have to tell us this? Is it kind of embarrassing for people to tell us this? Please let me know what you think. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about this probably next week before our guest comes on. But I definitely want you guys to just think about what really matters right now. Think about all of the things that should be important to you. With all of the lockdowns and with the whole world being totally shut off, I know that it forces people to just sit down and think. It definitely forces people to, just be alone in their feelings and to deal with reality and to deal with all of what they're going through. A lot of us are, so busy, but sometimes we forget to just stop. And sometimes we forget to take breaks. And sometimes we forget about what really matters when we're just living our lives and when we're just, pursuing our careers, taking care of business. But have you been able to spend more time with your family? Have you been in touch with your friends? Have you been able to keep in contact with people that you care about in the midst of all of this? Were you doing that before then? So has this pandemic taught you that it's more important to focus on the relationships you have with your family members and friends and how to cherish them and how to appreciate them and not take them for granted? Because we are in the position where we have to isolate ourselves from others in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19. We are in the position where we have to isolate ourselves from others so that they don't get sick and so that we won't get sick. So I want you guys to tell me, what do you think? Miss Lillian Harshaw, I'm reading the comments here, and Miss Lillian Harshaw says, I have lost family and friends during this pandemic, and it's hard not being able to just go to their home going, because of this new normal. But if people who just do what they're supposed to do, basic hygiene, wear a mask, use common sense, we can get through this a lot quicker. I definitely agree 100%. And I'm really sorry for all of the losses that you've had, Miss Lillian. So that's just an example of what someone's going through right now. Think about how many lives have been lost because of the pandemic, because someone chose not to practice good hygiene, basic hygiene, because someone didn't wash their hands, or someone, didn't stay home when they were actually sick. They decided to come to work and spread germs. If they know they had allergies, or if they knew that they were blowing snot in tissues all day long, and that they had a runny nose or some type of cold, and they chose to come to work instead of just staying home and preventing that spread of the cold. So just think about it. Is it worth it to risk the life of someone else because you decide to be selfish and just come to work just because you can, even though that you may be infecting someone else? It could be a colleague, a friend, a coworker, your parents, your grandparents, or anybody, your children. So is it really worth it? For the people who are not following directions right now, is it really worth it? Please, please, please think about it. Now, before we conclude the show, I want to give you guys some ways to reach out to me. I am available on all of the social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm available on all of the social media platforms, but if you want to connect with me directly, brownnelsone@gmail.com is the best way to do it. So I'm posting it up here now. So if you want to shoot me an email, I'm really, really good at responding to emails. I definitely will respond at my earliest convenience. And like I said, I'm in the process of building my website with my cousin. So once my website is created, I will definitely be able to release the business cards, and you guys will definitely see how much exposure I get from the website. It'll tell you all about me and the work that I do and all of the plans that I have, not only for the show, but, for the future. So I thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to share my story. This is just the very first show. I was nervous the entire time, but I did my best to give you guys a great show. And I know that we're going to be with each other for a while, and I just expect to grow and learn so much, for the future. So thank you very much. I hope you guys can go back and listen to this particular show. This is my very first show. September 8th, 2020. This is my very first show, so please, please, please go back and listen to it. Please share it with your family. Please share it with your friends. Please share it with all of the people who you feel as though need this love and support, this virtual support. And I really hope to get back to the studio soon so so I can have the opportunity to see you guys, from the office, the AGR's office. The home studio has been pretty good. I just set this all up. This is my little office space, now until, further notice. But I thank you guys very much. And please look out for my posts. And as I've said before, I'm available on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And brownnelsone@gmail.com is the easiest way to get in touch with me directly. I definitely will respond at my earliest convenience. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please stay on the lookout for all of the updates. I will try to post them as quickly as I can at my earliest convenience whenever I can. So the Beauty in Us Radio is signing out. So thank you.